Welcome to another edition of Jua Daktari Wako. This is the first edition of getting to know who is your veterinary doctor, who is your plant doctor, who is the agronomist who can be able to help you. One of the things that we want to achieve with this is just to make sure that indeed we are in touch. We as farmers are in touch with what the county governments can be able to do. This is a partnership that we are starting off with Kajiado County Government, and today we want to discuss the latest kid on the block. This is apiculture. What is apiculture? What is beekeeping? In other words, in the French they call it apiculture. But apart from that, what are the benefits to the youth, especially in the region, in Kajiado County? How can we come in together? What is the role of cooperatives in it? But most importantly, the regulation, the laws, the guidance, and also the way of formulating the policy at a county level. I am joined with very able-bodied men. Some of them are young men. So probably we'll start as an introduction from the far left.
Yeah.
Yes, you can just hold the mic.
My name is Lewis Chila, Chair of Welfare Committee, Kajiado Cooperative Farm Union.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Kisai Leitamei, farmer from Kajiado West, and also the chair of the Kajiado Cooperative Union.
Good evening. My name is Erica Henda, and I'm a livestock officer in Kajiado County, basically in charge of range management.
Good. So Eric, before I even take the mic back, what is apiculture? What is the state of apiculture right here in the county, and how safe are we as beekeepers?
Before I answer your question, I will start by saying that it is important to know that Kajiado County is an ASAL county, and of the about 22 square kilometers land area, over 80% of it is ASAL. These are lands that are unstable, cannot be cultivated, and therefore they are just suitable for either livestock production, wildlife, or they can also be used as a source of some of the resources. One of these resources, which is of importance to us, is the bees. And yes, you asked about what is apiculture, and I say that apiculture is the act of keeping bees for economic importance. And say that from many of us know the bees just because of products like honey and wax. But there is so much we can derive from apiculture in addition to bees and wax. And in some areas, to some extent, we can have some apitherapy, and this is the use of bees for medicinal value. We can also derive or use our apiculture as a source of tourism, where tourists come just to have a taste or have some time observing our bees and even our beekeeping production systems.
Thanks. That's a very good introduction in actually just apiculture. But one of the things that we have seen is that there are very many boxes. I normally call them sometimes boxes. We have very many nicely colored, designed boxes. I cannot say they are beehives, although they resemble beehives. They resemble beehives. But just like what we have in crop, we have greenhouses that have failed, they're not there, the paper are torn. We have a lot of people who are actually doing beekeeping, they bought beehives and all that, but they're not yielding. What is one of the reasons for this?
I will say that among the reasons why you'll find that someone has bought beehives which are keeping beehives which are not occupied, maybe a number of factors. And we normally advise people that before you start such kind of a venture, it is important that you seek technical advice. You may find that the hive was not made of recommended materials, because there are some materials that make up that hive that are repellent to the bees, and therefore, however long you keep such kind of a hive, the bees will never affect. Another case may be the workmanship for that hive. It is not temperature or self-regulating, and therefore the bees cannot be comfortable occupying such kind of hive. And you'll find that when you buy such kind of a hive, maybe the bees will come in, but they'll not stay there. They'll just occupy it for a short time and then abscond, simply because maybe the hive was not conducive enough for their occupation. There can also be a case of intrusion by predators, by pests, bee pests, and this also makes the bees uncomfortable. The area also you may be trying to establish your apiary in an area that has no bee forage. For sure, they will not stay there. So before you set up your apiary and or install your beehives, there are so many factors you need to consider, and you can only be assisted by a technical person who will give you technical advice on the appropriate place where you need to install your hives.
So that is a service that the county extension services can be able to offer.
Yes, it is readily available. We have extension officers who are trained in that area, and they are ready and willing to assist the beekeepers.
Brilliant. So thank you for that introduction and going down deeper and helping us understand that it's not just about buying a beehive. There's more to it. And recently we have started, I can say, a movement. Sometimes it's good when something is moving, it's a movement. And we started off a cooperative, starting with the county, with the sub-county cooperative, cooperatives. Now we are at a bigger stage, the union itself. So Isaiah, you can tell us more about what is the cooperative? Why should people join? Why should the people who are the beekeepers in Kajiado County, why should they be able to join the cooperative? And then we get to understand more from Lewis, from a young person perspective, why this is important. I know our technical, I mean, I am part of this because Niko Huku is what we have loved doing most is having at least, when you see some animals, I hear you just feel nice. Even me, I just feel nice. But what is this shift from, not really from, but adding apiculture as another source of revenue?
Thank you so much, Noah, and your team from AFarmers Media. The Kajiado Bee Cooperative Union is essentially a body that incorporates the 5 sub-county cooperatives that are there in Kajiado, and the aim of bringing up this organization into apiculture is basically to bring sanity and also order in beekeeping. We know for the longest time our market normally operate freely, but when we have such organizations such as cooperatives, some sanity and also order are brought about in how beekeeping is conducted, starting from production, how the hives are normally set up. So basically the cooperatives are coming in place to work in hand together with the county government in helping our farmers in setting up these apiaries in the right manner, managing them how they are supposed to be managed, and also ensuring that they are safe away from people, and also to educate more our farmers more on what apiculture is all about. For the longest time, we've known that apiculture is just like setting those beehives, like Noah has said. You just set boxes there, you think they will be occupied, and you leave them that way. When they are not occupied, you get bored by that activity, and you keep it away. So we are here to encourage you, and also encourage farmers on the importance of how you set your apiary, how you manage it, how you process it, and how you package your honey until it gets to the market in the right quality. Also, apart from the fact that honey is just one product of beehives or the bee animal. So when you think about other products, we are coming in place to enrich farmers in understanding that there are other many products that are generated from beekeeping. So we are here to encourage people and also bring people together so that when you want even to conduct trainings to farmers, at least we know where to get them, how many they are in this place, and how we can work together to at least find this as a source of revenue. It's also an opportunity to educate our people on how to safely manage our apiaries, so that you know, we are livestock keepers, like our livestock production officer said. So we need to look for this to harness how at least we are keeping our bees together with the animals that we've been keeping, the cows and the goats, for the longest time. So basically the work of these cooperatives is to come and coordinate the different activities within the value chain of beekeeping.
Okay, thank you. As this venture, it has been for the few and the elite in our community, having been grown up in our areas where all our foundation and our focus is on cattle farming. Now, having that being our cultural norm, you know, hearing or knowing something, it is something that you can build on. But without this knowledge, we have been very much in the dark. But this is the time for our youth, our women, and our people with disability to venture into this business. For this is just but very simple and very economically wise, and it is viable in our area, knowing our region is an assault county, and it is very much vast. We have enough resources to concentrate and venture into this business. Having said that, our youth and women and people with disabilities in our county, they have not received the information about and the necessity of having a different livelihood through this agriculture venture. In our culture, a young man is not entitled to any cattle as long as his father he lives. But I am advising you today that if you can go and set up an apiary, even if it has 10 or 5 beehives, it is personally yours and you can manage your own things, having your father and doesn't interfere with it. Now, I'm giving this to our youth and women back in our homes. Those who are jobless, we can create jobs for ourselves, and those who are still in job, we can also have a side hustle and earn your money at your comfort zone, wherever you are, either in school or working in a certain place. You can put those apiaries, and it's a business you can harvest twice a year and have your own money in your pocket without any struggle. Now, it leads to an assignment to AFarmers who can have this platform to advocate and enlighten our youth for the benefits and advantages of apiculture in our community. And it is that people are not aware about this business, but if we make them know by creating social platform for them to study and make them aware that there is this business and it is viable and it is economically wise, then we form cooperatives, and with the assistance of our county, we can have the resources required and ourselves venture into this. Our climate is now changing, and the largest time in a year, it is a dry season. And this one is affecting our investments in terms of cattle rearings. Having said about the fattening of our livestock, we can have a different business in this agriculture platform. Not for this now, I can say this is the best venture for our youth and women. For this is a business you can earn at your own comfort zone. So my appeal to our youth and all people who can venture into this, it is not only for the elite, but everybody can venture in this and make as a source of income to us.
Thank you very much for the insights, especially from the youth perspective, the importance of the cooperative. I want to finish with Eric. You have seen challenges in some of the programs that have been running. What is your advice to farmers who are still not yet convinced of joining either the cooperatives, and what can we as farmers who are already part of the cooperatives do to entice others to come?
First, before I answer your question, I will say that is a resource in the rangeland that has never been fully exploited. And there is a lot of benefits that come with beekeeping. It can be used as an approach towards participatory range management, because in itself it is an activity that aids at restoration of the environment. In terms of challenges, I will say that beekeeping as an enterprise has minimal challenges. I've decided to use that term minimal relatively, because comparing it with the challenges that we are facing right now with the livestock, especially particularly during times of drought, I will find that it is easier, and it is easier to maintain your bees during the drought season, simply because their needs are relatively less as compared to other categories of livestock. And it is a venture that should not scare anyone. I do believe that there are some people who have got that phobia for bees, but it is something that you get used to as you do it. So there is really nothing to fear. I would say that there are so many benefits as compared to the challenges. Many of us, like I mentioned earlier on, they only know bees when honey is mentioned somewhere, or to an extent once. But something that many people don't know is that we have over 6 products that you can get from bees, and of all these products, the most common one is the cheapest. So honey is the cheapest among all these. You can have a specialty in producing either 1 or 2 of the bee products, and you'll get your income. So my take will be to advise our community to embrace beekeeping and make use of the natural habitats that we still have in the county for the purpose of diversifying our livelihoods. And I can comfortably say that Kajiado has got a potential in beekeeping. If properly harnessed, then we can be will do another level whenever beekeeping is mentioned anywhere.
Thank you very much, and thank you, gentlemen, for doing this. I know we'll be bashed kidogo about gender balance, but we are sure that that next time we'll be able to have that. And again, for those who have been watching, this is another edition of Jua Daktari Wako, where we able to talk to extension officers, experts who are able to guide we as farmers to be able to excel in what we do in our production, in our yield, but most importantly, to improve in our livelihoods by having pesa mfukoni. This is your host Noah Nasiani Katibu.
Ciao. Thank you so much, Farmers Media. I am Kisai Meitamei, a farmer from Kajiado West. I'm the chairperson of the Kajiado Beekeepers Cooperative Union and also the chairperson of Kajiado Beekeepers Cooperative. The union is for the county, and the Kajiado West sub-county cooperative is for the sub-county of Kajiado West. So I'm glad again I'm meeting you for the second time. The last time I was in your studio. Today we are here, we are discussing about apiculture and the role of apiculture in climate change. We know that the adverse effects of climate change, what it has caused, actually as we speak, the county of Kajiado has maybe felt a lot of impact that has been brought about by this drought. And the drought is all about brought about by the effects of climate change. So when we talk about apiculture, apiculture is all about beekeeping, the activities involved in the beekeeping industry, and all the stakeholders that are involved in that beekeeping industry. So we are here representing our farmers. I'm also a farmer. I'm not just representing farmers, but I'm also a farmer myself. And as you know, the bee is a livestock. The last time I was in your show, I told you that the bee is a livestock, and you were shocked. So today I'm just here to encourage you again and to tell you again that a bee is a livestock. And as it is a livestock that needs to be protected. It's a livestock that needs to be taken good care of, because for the whole world to address the issue on climate change, the animal bee or the livestock bee has to be incorporated in every discussion, because as we know, all the pollination that goes around in the whole world, apart from those plants that do their own pollination, normally depend on bees for that pollination to take place. So for all this to happen, we need to think of the bee, of how to protect the bee, of how to enhance the lifespan maybe of a bee, and if maybe create a conducive environment or habitat for the bees. So for this to be addressed also, we need to think of where the bees get this foliage, the nectar, and it is all about trees. If you address all these issues on trees and other plants where the bees get the nectar and pollen, then you have sorted the issue on how the bees can get food, and also the issue on climate change, because the forest cover has gone down, and generally the effects of this has been brought about by the fact that we are cutting down trees at an alarming rate. Like in Kajiado, a lot of activities on charcoal burning have been ongoing, and this has brought about this. We thought of beekeeping. First, we were thinking of it as an alternative source of livelihood, but as it stands, it is now coming to be the main source of production or source of livelihood for the Maasai people. You know, our animals have died. We are no longer having the number of cows we used to have. The rain patterns have changed, so we just need to think of an alternative source of livelihood. If you think of the bee and its product, like I told you the last time, a bee gives you a range of products. There is honey, there is pollination. Pollination, you know, is a service also, and it is a product of the bee. There is things like brooding, colonization, not brooding, but colonization. That is how you create colonies from other colonies, so that you can have your bees can multiply. There's also things like wax. There's also what I told you on the bee venom. Yes, I told you how it is used to make, currently in Australia there was a research that was conducted, and certain medication was found on cancer. So at least the bees is not only just a livestock that is going to help you get a source of livelihood, but it is also a source of medication. Told you the honey is also used by us, the Maasai, in making our herbs, and this is what has kept us for this long. Actually, there is a community which has not suffered from lifestyle diseases for the longest time. It is the Maasai, and I think the Maasai honey has largely contributed to all this. So I'm so glad at least we're meeting again and we're discussing this, and we are thinking of how we can go forward. The bee has felt a threat from a wide range of things. There is the pest I told you last time. There were things I didn't talk about, like pesticides. But in my interaction with the farmers media, you know, you guys have taught me that there is a safe way of using pesticides. I didn't know that. I used to just go to the shop, buy pesticides, go spray my plants, because I am an agri-business person who is doing farming venture on fruit farming. And you know, when I largely depend on the bees to do pollination, I also have to take care of the bees as well as the plant, and I have to use maybe pesticides to control pest on my fruits. So AFarmers media has taught me a lot on safe use of pesticide. There before I didn't know that there's how you're supposed to be dressing for you to do your spraying of your farm, and there's how you even approach the plant, because the pesticide have effect from the root of the plant. I didn't know all this. I just used to know that you just spraying your plants and you get like the pest goes, but I didn't know that there was like effect on that pesticide. So I think there is need to understand, because like in my community, I think I told you when you are the discussion actually was brought about by me telling you that there was a farmer who had his cows, and he had sprayed his cows with a pesticide that was supposed to be sprayed on a farm, and 21 cows died. I think that is where we initiated the conversation, and I'm so glad that you guys have been able to train me on the safe use of pesticide, how I need to like spray my farm, what time I should spray my farm, just to also cater for the safety of my bees, because I told you guys that I'm doing a lot of beekeeping. So I need to at least coordinate the activities in my farm, and also to ensure that my plants are okay and my bees are also okay, for everything to run smoothly in my farm. So thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to engaging you more on the issue of like business generally, and on issues pertaining agriculture, because in Kenya right now, if you want to discuss what you call business, real money, you have to think farming, and farming can only be promoted by people like you, AFarmers Media. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and also for the support that you guys have been giving me. Thank you so much.
Lastly, there is the COP27 that is currently going on, and the leaders are discussing on the greenhouse gas emissions and the effects of climate change. Kajiado is one of the countries that has been worst hit by the climate change. What is your message and the take home, as even as the world leaders try to negotiate on the carbon emission and carbon credits? What is your message to these leaders as they discuss? What are you hoping for to come out of this summit?
Thank you so much for the question. I think I am of the view that I support the conference, although I don't fully support it. I think there was a certain picture I came across of world leaders walking with aeroplanes to meet in a certain place to discuss this issue. It's all about us focusing on what has been ailing us. These companies are getting the people causing us all this problem are basically these multinational companies that are emitting a lot of gases to the air, which is destroying our ozone layer, and also the effect of it is coming back here. Long before we thought of it, we used to think that these multinational companies, because they were just like in Europe before they came to Africa and other places, we used to think that the effect of these companies will not even reach Africa. But the effects of it are being felt right now, and we are still here, and we will experience more. But I think it calls for more action, not just those formal sitting, taking pictures, and also sitting on forums, but coming down here to the grassroots. And it is good if the discussions continuously take center stage. It is good for them to think of restoring the environment that we've destroyed, because these companies have caused a lot of destructions in our forest, and also in those environments that maybe other plants used to inhibit. Yes.
Lastly, I just want you to do a drop for me. Say your name, you're the chair of which beekeeping union, and you're watching AFarmers Media.
Yes, this is
you'll say something in Kimasai to make it look nice.
Yes, this is Kisai Meitamei. I'm the chairperson of Kajiado West Beekeepers Cooperative, and also the chairperson of Kajiado Cooperative Union. That is for the entire Kajiado. And I'm so glad, and also Asholeng. Isidai ana kitesheni nikijo AFarmers Media magagira itengeni yok enikinko taata tenikiponu aas esiai eramatare ang kingira adamu ajo kanyo kuna tokitin taata nayau ena nyamali nayau olameyu. Neeku ashe oleng. Yes.
So thank you so much, dear audience and lovely audience, for always following our Farmers Media. Today we are at the 2022 Fruits, Vegetables and Herbs Conference and Exhibition, and right now we are touring just the various exhibitions to showcase various value additions, and I'm in one of the exhibition spots. Thank you so much, sir, for having time for us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jonathan Bamber, the co-founder of Burton and Bamber. And we've been around for 7 years, and we've developed a food brand in the shelves called Sweet Tunda. And we're working with small-scale farmers. We buy fruit from them and vegetables, and we value add. We turn it into something that will last longer than if it was just fresh.
When you talk about value addition of fruits, I'm imagining you make juice from it, but I'm seeing crisps and different kinds of things. Tell us about the value addition. What kind of value addition is this?
So we're doing dehydration. So we've got different technologies. So one of them is through dried mango. So we have a dried mango, and we do other dried fruit. We have banana, we do strawberries, raspberries, pineapple, and we basically the water from the fruit, leave about 15% moisture, and then it's a healthy snack. And most of the nutrients are retained.
What's the importance of value addition?
Value addition is everything, because so much food is going to waste these days, and the mango value chain especially, there's who knows, maybe 50% of mangoes will never reach a market. So we're trying to buy from the farmers. We are their customers, and then we will add value to it, and we will pack it into our Sweet Tunda packaging for both the local and international brands. And then we're also doing other products as well. So this is our newest, most exciting product. This is a new snack called a cracky, and it's made from orange sweet potato.
Okay.
And then we, so it's kind of a healthier snack compared to a potato crisp. And we just have different flavors.
I want to test one.
You want to? Here we are. It's right here.
Hey, this is
And then we've also got another exciting new project. And
just like crisps, normal crisps.
yeah, but it's made from a healthier product.
How do you do it?
It's a secret. Goodness me, I can't tell you. If I'm telling the media, then everyone will know.
Okay.
But this is the other exciting project. And this one, as you can see, is just here. If the camera can go to this pop-up banner, this is all about aseptic pasteurization. So we can turn any fruit or vegetable into a puree.
Okay.
And then, so for example, mango, we can turn this mango into an aseptic mango so that it does not need a cold chain. And then once it's in this aseptic bag, it will last about 18 months on a shelf.
18 months, this is
And the
1 year, 6
color,
months.
the nutrients, everything will stay the same. But then we can sell this into the coffee shop. We can sell it, and we can do all sorts. We have blueberry here. We can do mango. We can do pineapple in small kind of 10-20 litre bags. We can also do vegetables. So we do our sweet potato. You can see here. Which goes into the bakery market. So we're trying to engage with bakers.
I'm thinking you're also doing, is that noodles or spaghetti?
No, this is sweet potato. So we
Oh,
would
that's
then, so what we do, we would then put the machinery. So we first of all steam it. Then we turn it into a we puree it, or we blend it, and we turn it into a much softer mix. We blend it with a little bit of water, and then we put it through this aseptic machine. And once it's been through this machine, this can sit here. This can sit on a shelf without cold chain for about 18 months.
So like there's no preservative that is put
No
into
preservatives
it?
at all.
And it can sit up to 18 months?
18 months.
There's a
Because
secret you don't want to share with us.
well, of course, but it's like a long life milk.
Ah, yes.
It's been pasteurized using microwave technology. So this is the first of its kind in Africa. It's American technology, this one, and this is Spanish aseptic filling machines, and it's hugely exciting because it is a first in Africa. And then we are, as I said, we're trying to target for the sweet potato, we're trying to target the bakery market.
Okay.
So we've done bread that can replace 40% of wheat. We can put sweet potato in. So we're helping work with small scale farmers and improve the nutrients of the bread.
And then we are talking about the changing climate zones and people adapting to different kinds of food. And this is one interesting technology that people should tap into. So how are you working with UNIDO, and how come you're exhibiting in today's exhibition this year?
So UNIDO has kindly supported us through trying to help support our sales and marketing plans for the next 2 or 3 years. And I think these types of initiatives like UNIDO just provide us as an SME resources and technical expertise that we wouldn't be able to afford if we did it ourselves.
With the changing climatic zones and the effects of climate change, what can you tell smallholder farmers? Because most of the farmers are now quitting farming because of drought, the war in Ukraine. What message can you tell smallholder farmers? Is it about time they diversified to drought-resilient crops?
I think so. I think drought-resilient crops are going to be more and more important. But I think also before farmers go into farming, they've got to think, do we need another mango tree in the market?
Yeah.
Do we need another avocado or macadamia? Where is the market for my produce?
Yes.
So I think the farmers got to understand where their crop is going to go to. Who's their customer?
Interesting. Where can your products be found if someone wants to get a hold of them?
Thank you for asking that. So we've been in Carrefour for some years, Chandarana, a few Naivas's. We're hoping that these will go into the more mainstream supermarkets like Naivas and Quickmart. And we very much want to take these sweet potato crackies into the general trade.
I'm interested in this ones. I'll make sure I come back for some.
Please,
they're very
please.
sweet.
We're very excited about our crackies.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you guys very much.
We really appreciate
bye-bye.
it.
That we export to are the EU and UK, the UAE, Australia, and a bit of it to the USA. And we are looking to venture into the Asian market, especially the Chinese and South Korean markets.
If you talk about some of the products that Kenya exports to these countries, because there's been a biggest challenge of the kind of chemicals that are used on the produce, probably tell us about how the process is like, how if someone wants also to start exporting their produce, what procedure should they follow?
The main market destinations, as I mentioned, we mostly export to the EU and UK, and also to the UAE and Australia, and looking to venture into South Asia and also USA. The process of exporting is not as straightforward as people may think, because they are usually market requirements. We call them sanitary and phytosanitary requirements. We abbreviated as SPS. So from the Kenyan side, what you need is to have a company which you need to get export license, which is issued by the HCD, Horticultural Crop Directorate. And you also need to be in the ECS, the Electronic Certification System, which is run by KEFIS. They'll come into your farm and inspect, and if you have systems that fit into what the market requires or the needs of this market destination, then you'll be allowed to export. So after all that, then you need to be a member of an association which represents the interests like lobbying and advocacy. EFIC does that. We also do market linkage, we do capacity building, and also support you to comply to the various standards. The most common one is French beans. We also have broccoli, as you can see from behind us. We have these are runner beans. Follows these. Their products will qualified to go into the export market. Yes.
There has been